Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur. They can beat up everybody else.
However, if I were pushing Keyshawn, I would have another fight or two before I fight Devin, just for experience purposes. And if I was Devin, I would try to jump on it right now before he gets those couple fights, because the more experience he gets, the harder he's gonna become to beat.
The reason I embarked on this whole thing that I just went into is because he reminds me of Stevenson a little bit, Davis. Their styles are similar. They control the outside with the jab and counters. Good defense. Play it safe.
And if you're not scared, it just makes yourself look scary.
So you're saying he should have just ate, didn't care about the next weigh-in?
Boxing insiders are starting to raise eyebrows at Devin Haney's reluctance to commit to a fight with Keyshawn Davis. Roy Jones Jr. broke it down simply. The weight issues have been real, and the longer Keyshawn keeps developing, the more dangerous this matchup becomes for Devin.
Devin Haney is right back at the top of his game. Devin showed that the weight loss was probably causing him to not have as good punch resistance, and it also probably wasn't causing him to have as much power or explosiveness as he has. He showed tremendous power, tremendous punch resistance in that fight against Norman, and for him to do that means that the weight was probably an issue. Now, if Keyshawn comes up, or if they even do a catch weight, a 143, 144, it's going to be a very interesting fight, because I think Devin has more tools and more IQ right now, but Keyshawn is different. So when you got a guy that's different, and that's why I also said that he's not just back, he's different. You understand me? So when you got a guy that has that intangibleness about him, where he can be a different guy when it's time to be a different guy, you can never count him out.
Former world champion Timothy Bradley didn't hold back. He gave Keyshawn Davis his flowers, praising his skill, his confidence, and his overall game, while throwing serious shade at the Haney camp strategy, suggesting that the hesitation fans are seeing isn't coming from Keyshawn's side.
And you already know his daddy didn't know what the hell he was doing. I told you to go chase some goddamn chickens. I told you don't need to be able to pick up them feet and punch coming forward without falling the fuck over. Yeah, you fell in. Keyshawn ain't gonna fall in on your ass unless he want to. Yeah, Keyshawn can throw punches as he's entering mid-range and still keep his damn distance. And he can back up out of range if he need to at the same time. He can go backward, forward, side to side, whatever, man, like some damn switches. Yeah, on the 62 Impala, baby. Yeah. Oh, he got that power, too. Oh, he got that power. All that, hey, clinching, hugging and stuff. I'm telling you, yeah, I already know, Bill, you don't want none of no damn Keyshawn. I know you don't want none. I know Dev will fight anybody. Dev crazy as hell. Yeah, that boy fight anybody.
Keyshawn Davis has been saying it loud and clear. Devin Haney is avoiding him. According to Keyshawn, Devin won't even look his way, never reaches out directly, and any communication that does happen goes straight through Bill Haney. To Keyshawn, that speaks volumes.
Bill always used to be like, oh, the business, man. Like, he showed me amazing love. And Devin Haney was just the one that just act like he couldn't see me, which I knew, like, oh, you probably scared of me. Oh, you probably got something to her. I don't know what it was. But I never seen Bill show me so much love, and Devin didn't. Like, it was always like the same thing. But when it came to me, it was different. But now that is weird, because now it's like, damn. Like, I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, one time on Twitter, like back in, this like a little personal, but like, he called me B-word one time on Twitter. And I'm like, you grown as hell, why you even coming at a kid like that? But I'm like, all right, but I respect you differently now, you know? And ever since then, I just looked at them differently, like, okay, bet. When I get myself in a real opportunity, I'm gunning for y'all, super gunning for y'all. And when I see him at the weigh-ins, I don't remember back then. I just remember him saying that. Right. But I seen him at the weigh-ins for MSG.
Bill Haney fired back with his own version of events. According to Bill, the ball is entirely in Keyshawn's court, and he claims that Davis walked away from serious negotiations, leaving the fight dead in the water before it ever had a real chance.
A lot of people feel like maybe Devin hasn't responded to Keyshawn since, you know, the whole... He did say that he'll take Lil Bruh in any order, but...
Listen, listen, it's me. It's me. I'm not paying Keyshawn no attention.
You dig? Because listen, every time I talked to him, I told him in his face, I said, you didn't have to fight this fight. You could have talked to me and we could have been making this thing happen, right? He told me, he says, I know. He said, I know. He said, I said, okay, I got you in the DMs. I got the DM on your word on it, right? I said, when you get through fighting, is Devin next? Do you want to fight Devin next? He said, yes. And then he switched over and said he wanted to fight Crocker.
I saw
I
that.
Said, Crocker? I said, oh yeah, I ain't with you. I said, I'm not with you ever again. Now listen. I said, I'm not. I said, no. I said, I'm not with him. I said, no, I ain't with him. Right? He went and did the brick. He did the brick. He went on the tear. I hit him in the DM. I said, do you want to negotiate?
Bill Haney shifted the conversation to what the fans are screaming for: a rematch with Ryan Garcia. With Ryan coming off an impressive performance and holding a belt in the same division, Bill made it clear that the people's demand is impossible to ignore.
Victory.
And it's more about what the people want. The people are screaming that Ryan is back, that he didn't had a hell of a performance. He has a belt. He's in the same division. Of course, if we went with Mario Barrios, they first, with our relationship with the WBC, everybody would have said we was cherry picking. You know what I mean? So the only splash that we could make, and just like you said all the time, is they want us to fight the tough competition, but that's why Devin is Debo.
If you fight Ryan, do you need him to be in 24/7, 365 testing? Is that like a no?
No. We just need him to test. It's not going to take 365 days to whip his ass, so we don't need him tested for 365. We just need him tested from now until when the fight
Bernie
happens.
wasn't impressed with the praise being thrown Bill Haney's way for his matchmaking. He made his position crystal clear. If Devin Haney truly wants to prove he belongs at the top, there are only two names that matter: Keyshawn Davis or Shakur Stevenson. Everything else is just noise.
Or Devin, fighting Shakur or Devin, or Keyshawn, Devin fighting either one of those guys, that's a turned up fight. Him, Tank, that's all that turned up. Feel me? Them is the fights right there. Them is the crest of the crest. People want to see turned up fights.
Obviously, Bill Haney's get lots of praises for his matchmaking lately. Obviously with the Terrence Crawford and Canelo, and obviously Devin Haney's career, right? But
I think he didn't have no matchmaking with that. He did put that bug in Crawford's ear, but that's it. How far are we gonna go with that?
They asked him what made you feel like you could move up to fight, Canelo, and it's
I said he put the bug in his ear.
While Keyshawn Davis is waiting, Devin Haney has been going back and forth with Ryan Garcia on social media, and things have gotten heated. With two champions and titles on the line, the Twitter war between Haney and Garcia has taken center stage, pulling attention away from what many believe is the bigger fight to make.
Because both guys are champions, unifying on the line, and they've been going back and forth on Twitter the last couple of days. It's been pretty crazy. So let's get into it. We have Ryan, first off, saying, Haney, if it's time to end you, it's time. You will be erased. I heard you speak in my name. If this is what you want, let's start discussions. Mark my words, you'll never fight again after this. So let that sink in and accept it before you say yes. Not just, hey, I'm going to smoke you again. Hey, you're not on my level. I'm going to beat you pillar to post. He said, I'm going to beat you so bad you never fight again. I'm going to erase you. That's the confidence level Ryan Garcia is coming in. Is that because of his performance versus Mario Barrios, or the performance versus Devin Haney, or just a combination of knowing what he did in the Haney fight and knowing how much better he's gotten since? I don't know.
Timothy Bradley was blown away by what Keyshawn Davis showed against Jamaine Ortiz. He called it dominant, precise, and downright scary. Ortiz tried switching stances, changing his rhythm, adjusting on the fly, and none of it worked. Bradley believes that same level of ring intelligence and adaptability makes Keyshawn a genuine nightmare for Devin Haney.
Keyshawn was going to be the next one. Yeah, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to stop Ortiz's ass, and he stopped his ass. Shit, I thought it was going to be a lot harder than that. He stopped his ass easy. Keyshawn ran through Ortiz. And Ortiz didn't know what to do. Ortiz was like, ain't nothing working. Ain't nothing working. What can I do? Let me switch southpaw. Let me switch southpaw. Bing, 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 bing. Let me go orthodox. Bing, bing, bing. Let me try to get in my rhythm. Bing, bing. Let me try to change guard. Bing, 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 bing. Everything he did, it got taken away from his. And that's the same thing that's going to happen to freaking Devin Haney. He get in there with Keyshawn Davis. Everything you do I know your every move, Dev. I know your every move, Dev. Yeah, I do. I do know your every move, Dev. For real. And you don't think Keyshawn know it? Shit, Keyshawn sees it. He see what he can do to get your sons.
The buzz around a Haney-Davis fight was real. Fans were locked in, predictions were flying, and both sides had reportedly shaken hands on the idea. But somewhere along the way, it all fell apart. No contract was ever signed. And without ink on paper, some analysts refused to even entertain the conversation, comparing the build-up to the long and frustrating wait for Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
Sitting the contract, you literally seen Keyshawn and Bill Haney agreed to fight each other in person and all this type of stuff. And the fans start getting involved, putting out their own fight predictions like, yeah, this would happen and I would favor this. You don't see me doing that. And there's a specific reason. I don't waste time. I'm definitely not lazy, but I don't believe in wasted energy. What's the point? What's the point of me wasting my energy and saying 1,000 words? There's 1,000 words that I could say. You know what I mean? Get my Justin Timberlake on, Ego Timberlake, saying 1,000 words, and then I never get a conclusion. What's the point of me putting out? If you notice my channel, I don't put out no fight predictions if it ain't a signed fight. What's the point?
Keyshawn opened up about the dynamic between himself and the Haney family, and it was revealing. While Bill always showed him love and respect on the way up, Devin's energy was consistently cold and distant. That disconnect lit a fire in Keyshawn. The moment he felt disrespected, he locked in with one mission. When the opportunity came, he was going all out for it.
According to Keyshawn, he like, they don't want to smoke. And this is why, like I said, this is why I can't get invested in a lot of these new generations back and forth.
47. The only person I'm going to 147 for is Devin Haney.
Really?
If he just stay at 140, I was going to gun for him too, though. Not going to hold you.
Right. But what about Ryan Garcia? He's a champion with a big name. He just sold out.
He got a lot of speculation around his name right now. I'm not
what
Ryan
you
Garcia.
mean?
He got a lot of speculation. Like, shit. I just want things to be, you know.
What do you think about his performance?
It was a good performance. Great one, actually.
So he said if he goes to 47, it got to be for Devin Haney. But the problem is, after this interview was conducted, he talking about calling out Lamont Roach. And he's saying that he ain't heard from Devin Haney. So somebody got to be lying.
Bill Haney had heard enough. He came out swinging, accusing Keyshawn of never being serious about the fight in the first place. According to Bill, he reached out multiple times, tried to get negotiations going, and got nothing but games in return. His conclusion? Keyshawn was trolling the whole time, playing chess with his son's name to build his own leverage.
To a fight.
Keyshawn the businessman Davis was just trolling about a showdown with his son, first ballot Hall of Famer, undefeated 3-division world champion, former undisputed lightweight, former WBC junior welterweight, and now reigning WBO welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, and Devin the Dream Haney. 33 wins, no loss, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. Keyshawn Davis, 14 wins, no loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. Keyshawn is actually, I think he's older than Devin.
Things took an even stranger turn when Keyshawn started showing up at locations tied to Devin Haney's nickname, including the house from a movie Friday, a clear shot at Double Dev. Bill Haney saw for what was pure theatrics. And when talk shifted to other potential opponents like Lewis Crocker, it only confirmed his belief that Keyshawn was never truly committed to making the fight happen.
Bill is saying now that Keyshawn, he's reached out to Keyshawn, and Keyshawn is not showing interest. Ask Keyshawn, do you want to begin negotiating? Do you want to make the fight happen? He said Keyshawn didn't answer. Then he responded to Keyshawn again and said, how we gonna work this out? What you need me to do? And Keyshawn is saying, talk to Jay Prince.
Trainer Ronnie Ellis brought a measured perspective to the Keyshawn Davis conversation. He acknowledged the raw talent and the pressure Keyshawn brings, comparing his aggressive style to the legendary Nigel Benn. But Ellis also pointed out a real concern. Defensively, Keyshawn has shown some holes. And against a polished veteran like Devin Haney with 33 fights under his belt, those gaps could be costly.
Keyshawn's performance.
He did well. You know, his style.
I can't hear you, Coach. Smash the like button, yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
I said that particular style, Keyshawn remind me of. He looked just like Nigel Benn, Conor Benn's dad.
How so?
The style he was fighting, the way he was, you know, he didn't look like his defense wasn't as tight when he was his previous fights. But he did good. He did good.
Right. You know, obviously a statement win. Jamaine Ortiz never been stopped, but at the same time calls out Devin Haney at the end of the fight.
Stopping Jamaine Ortiz, a man who had never been knocked out, was a massive statement. And Keyshawn made sure everyone heard him when he called out Devin Haney right there in the ring. But the boldness raised questions. With only 14 professional fights to his name compared to Haney's 33, analysts wonder whether Keyshawn was truly ready for grind, the strategy, and the championship-level endurance that a fight of that magnitude demands.
Haney.
Yeah, I think he should get a couple more rounds in before he go at Devin Haney. But if he feel like he can take him, let him get at him. Let him get at him.
Are you looking at it more like that 12-round experience type deal?
Yeah.
Getting the rounds in?
Get some rounds in, Get some rounds in.
When you listen to and then, there's back and forth going with them too. Devin saying that, he would like to fight, the little brother before the big brother. What's your thoughts on that? I think there was a tweet saying that Shakur, I don't want to step on Devin Haney's toes. I'm going to let Keyshawn get Devin Haney. A lot of people had lots to say about it. They're saying that, listen, they're breaking down the
conversation around Keyshawn Davis moving up in weight is impossible to avoid. The talent is there. Nobody is questioning that. But stepping into a higher division means facing bigger, stronger, and more seasoned fighters. It's not just about heart and skill. It requires a completely different level of preparation, tactical adjustment, and ring IQ to survive and thrive at that next level.
When people can't make 40 anymore, just like Jerome Boots Ennis couldn't make 47, and he moved up to 154. Now 54 is cracking. They got 54 out here cracking. Tons of names where you can mix and match the Funduras, the Virgil Ortiz, Jermell Charlo, possibly Errol Spence, Murda Zylev, Boots, right? You got tons of ways you can mix and match these people. 47 right now is dry, so it's going to take Shakur's and the Keyshawns and Gary Antoine Russells or the El Rayos, different Edwin De Los Santos, Matias, different guys to move up to start to purge and fill out the division. Right now, it's not many options. Again, Devin versus Louis Crockpot is a terrible fight, and I don't know anyone that wants to see it.
At the end of the day, Keyshawn Davis is confident, capable, and hungry. But the road ahead is complicated. Moving up in weight, navigating the politics of boxing, and dealing with a Haney camp that seems more interested in social media sparring than signing contracts. It all adds up. The highly anticipated showdown between these two remains unfinished business. And for now, the fans are left wondering if it will ever actually happen.
Nobody can beat him from pretty much 40 to 47. And he says he wants to fight Jamaine Ortiz and then move up to welterweight, which would be perfect because, like I told you, I really am the best in this business. Everything I say is like clockwork, right? It's amazing to me. Sometimes I amaze myself. So what am I talking about? I literally just said welterweight is dry.
It's a stale, stagnant, horrible division right now. Not too many ways to mix and match the guys, and then the guys you could mix and match are pretty much busy. The Ryans, the Barrioses, and the Rollies, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. And I told you it's going to require, this is how it works in the sport of boxing. I know because I've been here.